All right, everybody, welcome back to the J Talks Today's
Hello,
Relationship
hello,
Show
hello,
with
hello.
Miss Debbie.
Hey Jay, how are you doing? Great to be back on the show one more time. Hello everyone. How's everybody doing? Jay,
Yep,
show for today. The topic.
the topic today. All right, what happens when you've been rejected?
Ooh, what happens
Mm.
when you've been rejected?
Yeah, what happens when you've been rejected? Mm.
That's a good
Or
question.
maybe I should say, what happens after you've been?
After you've been rejected.
Mm-hmm.
And
After you've been rejected.
kick to the curb.
You know, when you've been rejected and even after you've been rejected. I'm just saying they all go together.
It all goes when you've been let go.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Can't talk about before rejection because you don't know what's going to happen. You know.
That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. That's right.
Yep. What happens when you've been rejected?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Well, you know, I would start off, Jay, by saying this in some form or fashion for a lot of us, um, those that are listening, at some point in time in your life, you have had to face rejection.
Oh yeah, you had to face some
You've
kind
had
of
to
rejection.
face rejection.
Some kind.
Some kind. You know, and so what happened? How did you deal with that? How did you go through the process of and we know that in rejection in any form does not feel good. I mean, you know, it's not a good feeling. Whether you was rejected from a job, turned down from a job, and you know, we talk about all the time, you know, that any what we have together with somebody else is a relationship, whether it's a man-woman relationship, family relationship. You know, you can get rejected in your family.
Yeah, get rejected on the job.
On the job.
Yeah, get rejected all kinds of ways.
Yeah. So, you know, what happens, you know, when that happens? How do you deal with rejection? You know, so that's the question we're posing this evening. And for the most part, I think I would have to say it depends on the person. I would say it depends on the person, where their mindset is, you know, depending on the situation, the circumstance of the rejection. So I think a lot has to do with the individual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and yeah, I think I agree with you. How you handle rejection is really dependent upon the individual, and you know, I'm going to start it off, I guess, by because some of our listeners, and you kind of pointed out some different forms of rejection, but rejection actually is a negative response from an expectation of wanting to be accepted for something. All right, you know, accepted for something. It's a negative response for something of which you were wanting to be accepted for something.
Right. Okay.
And, you know, since you just laid it out, you know, there's all different types of relationships and all different things, several things that you could be rejected from, or you know, could be not just boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, man, woman, but also you know, there's family. You have business, could be up for promotion.
Absolutely, yes.
You know, or you qualified for a certain job, and the employer might call you for an interview and then turn around and reject you because for some reason you think you know. That's why I said it is a negative response from something that of an expectation of being accepted.
Okay.
All right.
So Jay, so now my question is, in saying that, and that's the definition, so should we not have expectations?
Well, yeah, you can have expectations. Of course, you can have expectations. Uh, you know, like you said, some different people got different ways of handling it. Some people can't handle the expectations being shot down.
Right, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
they
right.
be all over the floor.
I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen. So it depends on, like I said, the individual and where you are, and you have to be careful. I mean, we're talking about the rejection of different sources in a relationship and everything like that. But when we talk about rejection as it relates to a male and a female, especially now these days, you have to be really careful of not only the rejection or the other party being rejected, but how you do it and how you say it.
Yeah.
You have to be very, very careful.
Yeah.
Because nowadays it just not do good for you to just come off and say, I don't want to be bothered with you because you this or you got to be careful. You got to be careful.
So now we're gonna talk about some ways that you can that a person might reject you. Is that what you're trying to say? Oh, okay. Let's point out some way. Which way you want, the girly way?
Yes, yes.
Or the manly way?
I know you're gonna give me both sides,
Okay,
Jay. So which one you want to do first?
Okay. Well.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. For the men out there, here are some ways in a couple type romantic. You chasing after this girl. She's cute. She's hot. Whatever. Whatever's defining to you as attractive, because let's make sure that folks are not saying I'm putting a stereotype
right.
when I say she's hot and she's sexy or attractive, that it's supposed to be some slim woman,
right? Exactly.
Yes. Because everybody got different tastes.
That's exactly right.
Yeah,
everybody got different tastes.
You got some real skinny men that love some real juicy women. All right.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right. So whatever's defined as hot, sexy, and attractive to you.
Yes.
All right. So you make this approach. You got game on. It is game on. You dribbling the ball, and you're heading to the goal, and you make this approach. All right. Some of the possible rejection. Now listen up, guys. Women don't always come out straightforward like most men do. Men do, they always, I don't want to really hurt the man and all that, but but they might be telling their girlfriend, I don't really want to hurt the man, but I just want to, I don't want to be bothered with him, so here's some of their lines. Well, I'm a little busy tonight, or instead did you call or you make a note approach the next day? I'm still busy tonight. Now you done did this for a whole 2 weeks. All right. And the first thing you ask them before you make your approach, what you doing? I'm at home. And then you make your approach. I'm a little busy tonight. She at home for 2 weeks. And she busy. Every night for 2 weeks. Okay. Now, brother, you just got rejected.
For 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You ain't get the memo yet?
Yeah.
Come on now.
All right.
I understand you want to give people the benefit of the doubt sometimes, but after a while, enough is enough. I mean, really, let's just look at that thing for what it really is. Okay, so you gave us the female approach, Jay.
Yeah, that's one of them.
Okay.
Here's another one. All right. Brother still got a game on. And he sends her. Texans was really on nowadays.
Yes,
people making these approaches now by texting.
By texting.
Yeah, they don't really get
Which
no real
really.
phone calls anymore.
Right.
I don't know what's up with that, man.
I'm telling you.
That's part of chivalry too.
Yes.
That's part of chivalry.
Yes.
So,
yes.
When we say chivalry dead or died out, it really is.
Oh, I shudder the thought, Jay. Yeah. I shudder the thought.
So guys, you get on your phone and you texting the girl or the woman, and we have to remember, we have young people to listen to, so
right.
The girl or the woman.
Yes.
And you making some nice remarks, I think you're kind of cute and everything. They send you back thank you, but most likely they're gonna say that. All right. Which I know I'm getting a little bit off subject, but I did that one time when I was younger. That's when they had pagers. They didn't have cell phones. They just had pagers. Right?
Exactly.
So you could put a little message in the pager, right? The what do they call it? Message pagers, okay? And then they have the voice pager.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent this girl a message through the pager and said, I think you're kind of cute. The next thing I got back, why you say that and what you up to? They didn't even get a thank you or nothing. Like, what you up to?
Like, you want something. What you want? That's funny.
She done busted my whole game.
Just come on with it. What you want? I ain't got time for this. What do you want?
Like, I done heard that before.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. But most of the time, you guys, you're going to get a thank you. Now, the next line, you're going to come out, be like, well, what's the chances that you and me could hang out, or spend some time? And she sends back to you either a couple of things. I'm not understanding what you're saying. She understood what you were saying. Or, I'm busy today. Or, I don't know. Me and my girls be hanging out a lot. Or, and nowadays, a lot of women, even girls these days, have kids. All right?
Mm-hmm.
And most homes are single parent homes ran by women.
Yes.
So, you'll probably get this response. Well, I got kids and I don't get out much. Mm-hmm, okay? Mm-hmm. Which is kind of true. Now, that one might be more of an honest response than anything.
Exactly.
If they got kids, if they have kids. But let me tell you, if she really won't get out, she'll make it happen.
Yeah.
All right?
Yes.
But here's another one. All right. And they use this one as a deflective way to get out. But they really trying to test you guys to see what you really going to do. Like you're going to pay. Well, who paying? Well, who paying?
Well, what's wrong with asking that?
Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But a lot of women, especially now, if they see you already, y'all know each other,
mm-hmm.
and they see you already as maybe you done already put on the image, guys.
Yeah, right, yes.
That you kind of cost effective like that. I say, cause I didn't want to say cheap. I say cost effective. Yeah. All right. Cause we professionals.
Right. We professionals. Yes.
And they might throw that at you it's kind of reverse psychology rather than to say, "Oh no," somebody might just say, "Oh hell no." They might be saying that, "No, I ain't going out with that boy. I already know he cost effective." They say it to themselves, so they throw it back at you because they already kind of know. Cause no, you gonna be like, "Nah, I ain't gonna put out like that."
Well, okay. I mean, what
you got that's called the reverse psychology way.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, right. Okay, okay. But for the most part, Jay, let me just throw this in. For the most part, if a guy calls a female and asks them out, they're asking to take you out. Okay, for the most part, they're asking to take you out. Okay, so now then you still have to decide, do you want to go out with her? I mean, for whatever reason, yes. For whatever reason, no.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. For whatever reason.
Okay.
But now, so now you've given us the female point.
You got some female ways.
I mean,
I'm sure you female. You probably know what your girlfriends be using.
But for the most part, Jay, as you have to look at this thing in this point. Okay, so if you are the person that has to, for whatever reason you don't like this guy, there's nothing wrong with. I mean, we always say, we like honesty. We've been talking about this on the show, quite a bit about, I want people to be honest with me. I want to be honest. I want to be honest, and I want people to be honest with me. Okay, so in saying that, no, you can't just come out and say, no, I don't like you for whatever reason. No, I'm not going out with you. But there's ways that you can do it without causing affliction, okay, to someone else, be it the male or the female. I think that.
So I think sometimes we can set ourselves up for to give, because you never know what a person gonna say, and I'm gonna tell you, I do know some brothers that will say straight point blank flat out, no, no, where you get that idea from? No, not me and you. No, no. What made you think?
Okay. Well, okay, all right. I mean, well, it's that can be. I mean, honesty is the best policy. I mean, honestly, it really is. But I think you can use tact with it. I mean, you don't have to just come out and just be hurtful with it. You can use tact. But now, I mean, I'm actually reminded of a case that actually happened like a month or so ago about what we're talking about, and it's not a funny matter at all. This woman was murdered. She was in a club. And this guy approached her, and from the eyewitnesses that were around, he approached her, told her that she was nice looking that time. She was really nice. She didn't, wasn't offensive or anything like that. And he asked her for her number, and she politely said, no, for or whatever she said with that. And he followed her outside and shot and killed her.
Right.
So in a case like that, this woman, for all point, did not do anything that was offensive or say anything that was offensive. She just plainly said, no.
Yeah.
And it cost her life. I'm like, really?
Yeah, you could get that solid no a whole lot of times at the club. That, and the majority of the time the guy's approaching the woman.
Yes.
For you like to dance? No. I'm sorry. And women be really straightforward.
But see now, no. Okay.
And a lot of times they want to twist their head and look at you, and they be looking at them.
No, I'll even go one back because I've seen it, Jay. I've been there. I've seen it happen. Been out, and you dancing in your seat. I mean, the only thing you not doing is standing on your feet. You just in your seat dancing. And then the guy come up and say, well, because he see you, you know. Would you like that? No, I don't want to dance. Really? Okay, and what do you? It's a dance. I mean, what's wrong with? I mean, come on now. I mean, we just gotta, really. But we're talking about rejection. So rejection is rejection. So you've given us the female standpoint from it. Okay. So now you've given us both points.
No, I gave mostly.
Okay.
Did I don't think I think I gave like one of the males. But no, I was dealing with with the females.
Yes.
So all right, females, you by chance have approach. Now, female's approach is a lot different than a male approach. Okay,
right.
Because men are more of the head. They're hunters.
Yes.
Females kind of act like cats. They want to creep up on You ever see a cat when you see a bird or somebody?
Yeah,
they get real low profile.
Yeah.
Y'all would be y'all get low profile.
Yes.
They get low profile and they start creeping.
Yes.
Then they wait a few seconds, a minute. Then they start creeping some more. Did they think they really close enough to make their approach? Right? Okay. Just like a little cat. Right?
Okay.
All right. Y'all so slick. So here's what female do. Female, they listen. See, they listen. They might find a guy kind of cute or whatever. They may because there's nice conversation. Nice conversation. As they take that he might be getting into me because, we have a good conversation.
Right.
All right. So then they try to take it another little notch and they might ask the guy, something about, well, you like what I got on? Or, they'll try to strike up something about their hair. I just got my hair braided just to see what your reaction going to be, guys. All right. See, like I said, they done took a few little more creep steps. Then they go to sit back down like a cat, like low profile, see how you move. All right, now the guy is now making those comments. He's saying, well, he it seems like he really liking me. He passed, getting these responses. All right, well, then they get right up on you after they done did this IQ test. And then they'd be like, well, and here's the famous question. What do you do for fun?
Okay.
What do you do for fun? Guys, when you hear that, they are actually approaching you.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
They're actually approaching you. All right. And you start answering and stuff, then they were like, well, maybe me and you can hang out one day. And we could do whatever it is that you said you do for fun. Could do some of that. And then, now ladies, all I'm going to say, be careful you ain't set yourself up. Okay?
Oh.
All right. And the guy be like, I'm kind of busy.
Right.
Because guys use that one too.
Yeah.
I'm kind of busy.
Yeah.
I got some studying to do. Me and the boys, we had already set some times to be hanging out. There's a game on.
Right.
I've been working hard. I gotta go to bed early or something. And they'll throw a bunch of stuff out, and some of them just be flat out. Well, no, I'm
Right.
I mean, yeah, I do those kind of things for fun, but, I mostly like to do it by myself. So you hear, so ladies, then you walking away with your face all dropped and low, I thought dude was really like getting into me and stuff, you know.
And let me just say this, Jay, you made a good point, about that, because see, as women, about time that approach is made, okay? see, and like you say, because we are different. Our makeup is different. Our mindset is different. We for at some point in time, we already got the confidence built up. Okay, so now whether it's in our appearance and our hair and everything, or you thinking you looking good that night and you spot a brother and okay, I'm gonna go on over and see what he talking about, So so now if you do that, you got to know, which is the point you made. You got to know that it could be a 50-50. Just because you think you looking good, and trust me, ladies, I'm not saying that you supposed to, look as good as possible. However you feel, makeup, hair, all that together. Ain't nothing wrong with thinking you look good and stuff like that. But just know that when you make that approach, that it could be a 50-50. And if you still, if you're confident before and after the possible rejection. Okay, so now if that's the case, just like the lady that you approached as, walk away with the same approach. And just say, hey, it was just one of those things. It didn't, it didn't work out. So in saying that, I'm saying that what was the comment that I made at the start of the show, it depends on the person. It depends on the person.
Yeah, like you pointed out, that person who got rejected, that guy, he really didn't know how to handle it.
Oh my God!
He came out and killed the girl.
Yes.
And that's not the first time that's ever happened.
No,
that's not the first time it's ever happened.
I'm sure that kind of thing is widespread now. And the reason I say that, because even though her approach was different, because I've seen women reject guys and be like, no, I'll get out my face, I don't like you and stuff like that. You got to be careful. You got to be careful, because you really don't know who you're talking to. And it doesn't take a lot nowadays for a person. And you're talking about rejecting, and when a part of rejection, I think, is feeling like you're unworthy. One of the things you feel is that you have no worth, you're unworthy. So not only have you been rejected, but the person is talking to you in a way that's disrespectful, not disrespectful, really not giving any honor to you. And the first thing, what happens? You just automatically blow your stack, get mad, and you react. So you have to be careful of that.
Yeah, you have to be careful. And I want to throw this in there too. I know we're talking about leading up to rejection and all that, but we're talking about the initial point of, I guess you would say, starting a relationship or and all that point of rejection. But there's also other points of rejection in the couple thing that you've initiated and carried on for some time in a relationship, and then somewhere along the line, one person in the relationship for some reason has no longer sees you in being in a relationship anymore. All right.
Yes.
And you were talking about being worthy, and you're still thinking, well, you're worthy to be still in the relationship.
Yes.
And this person has mind and everything has left. From being in a relationship. Their attention is not on you anymore.
Absolutely.
And
that's
all
right.
that.
Yes.
And they may even come to you like, I'm just not feeling you anymore. I think we need to split up, go some separate ways. That's a form of rejection.
It is.
Yeah,
It is. It is.
Yeah.
And on a personal note, years ago, I had a situation like that. I was in a situation like that, and like and it was devastating, because when you get to that point, like you say, you're in a relationship, and then after a while, they're not feeling you or you're not feeling them for whatever reason it is, but it went a little bit further for me. I mean, it was like, one day he was just stop calling. And I'm like, wow, haven't heard from him, so I genuinely called, not only because I knew that, we were in this relationship together, but, out of concern as well, because, things happen. And so I, finally did get in contact with him and talked to him and was like, so I hadn't heard from you. How are things going? What's going on with you? That type of thing. And so he told me in these words, sometimes some things are better left unsaid.
Mm-hmm.
And that was, and I remember this just like it was yesterday. I mean, because those really were profound words. But what I realized over the years is what he was saying to me was that he couldn't let me know.
Mm-hmm.
At that he couldn't tell me why at that time that he had walked away. And so the best thing for him to do was just walk away and not say anything. And so I mean, and at that point, yes, I was hurt by it, but and I eventually went through the rejection period. Whatever you have to do, I think that's an individual thing, whatever it is, in a positive way. I'm not talking about doing nothing destructive, but in a positive way, do whatever you have to do to go through it, and you will be okay. But I mean, so that is a form of rejection, especially when you're in a relationship. And when we're talking about relationships, in marriages as well.
Yeah, marriages.
You can come home one day and your wife say, I just, I don't want to be married anymore. Or the husband say, I'm not, with this anymore, so I'm leaving. That's this rejection. I mean, it's rejection in the highest form. But again, I strongly say it's an individual thing. It depends on the individual and where you are, mentally.
Yeah, and in cases like that, there have been cases where that ended up being fatally tragic.
Yes, absolutely.
Tragic.
Absolutely. Yes.
And you're right. It just depends on the person. We're talking about what happens when you've been rejected, and it really does depend. And I think especially when it gets into those areas of being fatally, tragic, the outcome, that person, and here's a key. Here's a key, and I hope whoever's listening to this show really takes this in. It's remember I gave a definition. It's a negative response. All right, to
expectation.
Yeah, to an expectation. All right. The expectation is you really look forward to this being happening, to this taking place or whatever. So it's a negative response, opposite of what you expected.
Yeah.
So I think that many times people do not realistically take into their existence of thought any preparation. The less preparation toward the possibility of a negative or the possibility that things could ever go negative.
Right.
The less thought about that, the more crazy and the more outrageous the reaction.
I understand that.
And I believe the more you prepare yourself about possibilities that anything can happen in life, because the key factor in that is you cannot control another person.
Yes, that's right.
And the real truth of life is you never know what a person's going to do. Or you never know. All you can do is hope, but that's not a guarantee.
That's not a guarantee.
See,
that's right.
Right. Because we all have free will, and it's been enough cases throughout the century to give us the truth behind that. Because you just look at 1 year's statistics about how many people in marriages and they thought it was secure, and turned around, one of the people decided, well, they didn't want to be married no more, or they, and it could be based on many different reasons,
right,
but the bottom line, they didn't want to be with you no more,
right,
And
it's while you were making that statement, Jay, I was reminded of the movie Jill Scott. Why did I get married?
Yeah.
Why did I get married? And
yeah.
in the case where Jill Scott's character, she was with with her husband, and she was trying to make the marriage work. He didn't want her. He was putting her down all the time, belittling her, degrading her, and everything and stuff like that. Well, come to find out, he was having an affair with was supposed to be Jill Scott's friend and everything. And so it came out at the dinner that they had been having an affair, and she her friends wanted to tell her, but the character that played Janet Jackson was like, no, she was like a psychologist, and she was like, no, because she's not ready to handle it. She couldn't handle it. She's not ready to handle the truth, And so the friend that was always, boisterous and everything, she was the one that actually, let the cat out the bag and everything. And Jill, and it was proven Jill Scott's reaction from it, because her reaction was complete shock, like, oh no, he's not doing that. He wouldn't do that, And so to
when she
bring
really
home,
did though, Rick down in her mind, she had the suspicion. Because she was like, they always hanging out together. They be gone a long time together. I mean, she. Really nothing.
Yes.
Come on, I mean, who are you really fooling?
I mean,
that denial could be a dangerous thing, man. It could be a dangerous thing when you really deny a lot of things that you really actually are seeing.
Yeah, I mean, but for that show, that scene in the movie, I mean, how many people do we know that actually live lives like that? I mean, at every turn, he was always saying something degrading to her, putting her down. At every turn he got, but she was still saying, "Oh, that's okay," And her thing was, her reasoning was, well, if I would just lose the weight, then he would be attracted to me. He would he would be back attracted to me, and to see the reaction. I mean, I love the movie. I love the scene. I mean, because
it was the play. The play.
No, the movie.
The movie?
Yeah. Why did I get married?
The movie. Okay, yes. I was thinking the play. I was thinking about the play.
Why did I get married? I don't know if the play and the movie, like just are true to each other like that. But in the movie, because she was just so taken aback by it, she acted without thinking, and and that was the scene where she just grabbed the bottle and just right over his head, and walked out the door, not even looking back or anything like that. So you have to be careful, that you get when you get to a point like that. Or because you accept it. When you get to a point to where you just unleash that, you don't know what might happen or what can happen. So we're talking about rejection, and though we're talking about in relationships. Jay, you made a point about being rejected on the job, how you have hopes for a job position. And you're qualified to do the position, you're qualified to do the job, and you go for the interview, the first interview, and everything is looking good, and then they call you, or you call them and they tell you, well, no, we have somebody else, more qualified, or whatever the reasoning is. So it depends on the person and where you are. Rejection from, again, we're talking about from a job. Back in the late 80s, somewhere around there, what the thing was at that time was a lot of workplace shootings. A person was fired from the job or let go for whatever reason, and they couldn't handle it. And come back and just start shooting people, in the workplace, and killing people in the workplace because they could not handle being let go, being let go from a job or downsize or whatever. So that's rejection is, I tell you. It's either gonna make you or break you is what I'm saying. If you're not careful, it's either gonna make you or it's gonna break you. I mean, you can learn from it either way. You can learn from it either way. So how do you handle rejection? I mean, I guess that's the point, we should talk about now. How should you handle rejection?
Well, I say handling rejection has to start before the possibility of the rejection ever taken place. Um, if you because really truthfully, if you don't prepare for something, it's just the same way about anything. What you prepare the more you prepare yourself for, the better off you are. If you go on a road trip and you in your car, the more prepared for the road trip, the better off you are.
Right.
Okay, so you get in your car, and here's the most unprepared: no spare tire, no jack, no jack handle. Okay, all right. You could possibly get a flat.
That's
possibly
true.
anywhere.
Yeah,
okay, you don't have those tools in there for the possibility. Preparation. Not that you're looking or wishing for a flat. Just like that, not like you wishing or looking for a rejection.
Yeah.
But you are prepared.
Yes.
Because the reality, and we know this reality. Anybody can possibly get a flat. You don't know what you could possibly run into. So preparing for the possible makes you more well off in life, and that's with anything. Makes you more well off and equipped to adapt. That in the case of if something happens, I said in the case of that it does happen, you can more efficiently handle and deal with the situation because you're more prepared for it.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So, like me, shoot, I have my spare, my jack. I got a tire plugging kit. I done learned how to plug my own tire. I keep a can to fix a flat in there so I can put some air in it.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
So I get a nail in my car. Yes. I am very well prepared. All right.
Right.
I don't really want it to happen, but if it does happen, I'm going to, I might say, oh man, I got me a flat. But that's all right. I got it. I can handle it. I can handle it. All right.
Well, and Jay, we're talking about preparation, being prepared for things like that. I'm like that. I try, to be prepared in a lot of situations, in a lot of cases, and the example is that I have a kit in my purse, okay, that has needle and thread of all colors. I have safety pins in there, nail glue, little essential things because things happen. I could be out one day and pop a button and have to put a button back on. But now, so I got my little needle and thread so I can put the button back on, or a safety pin if I don't have needle and thread. That's just me, little things that we can be prepared for. So in saying that, Jay, I look at the fact that if we look at life in general, we don't never know what we're going to get from minute to minute, day to day, with life. We just know that if tomorrow comes, it's going to be tomorrow, and we don't know what's going to come. So we have to be prepared. A lot of times we like to, and this is the point that I use, they say, let's prepare. We have to prepare for death. How can ever you really prepare for death? But there's things you can put in your mindset, but are you really prepared for death? And I say, for me, the one aspect that I look at is that so my family won't have to try to borrow money from everybody, okay, to put me in the ground when that time comes, because believe me, it's coming. So my family won't have to borrow money from everybody to get me, my last things squared away. I've already prepared that. Okay, and so how have I prepared that? Insurance policy. An insurance policy. So when that time comes, all they'll have to do is get the information that they need, and they'll have the funds that they need to make sure that I'm put in the ground. That's being, prepared. So in saying that, I think that's a great point that you make, that we do have to be prepared, because anything, it's a 50-50 chance that it could be or it could not be. So in every aspect, yes, you have to be prepared for that. And it's like you're taking a chance or gambling. You could get it, you could not. Like when you play lotto or go to the casino, you might hit, you might not. You know, that's just a chance you take. So, and it's the same thing, you know, when we're talking about relationships. You know, you could, if you approach a guy and you're feeling him and he's feeling you, and y'all get a chance to go out or date or whatever, that's, you know, that's good. But if not, then that's just the chance you take. I mean, everything is chance, I think.
Right. Yeah, everything in life is a chance. Because nothing that in this life, in this world, is guaranteed. Nothing. There's nothing that is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Is in this life. Now I know I might have some church folk listening to this and just heard me say that, and they be like, "Oh no, Christ said that salvation is guaranteed." Okay, I said in this life. I didn't say in the afterlife. Okay, church folk, listen, please listen. In this life, nothing is guaranteed. All God and Christ promised us that if we do, okay, seek for salvation and get salvation, then that is promised as a promissory that we will have it in the afterlife. Okay, afterlife. All right, which means this life is now dead and gone.
Yes.
All right, in the afterlife. But nothing in this life has a promise or a guarantee to it.
Yes.
And that's with everything. You know, how your man or woman gonna act and be, how your kids gonna act and be, how you secure your job is, you know, how long your car gonna last. I mean, you know, how long your body's gonna carry on before it start failing you. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing.
It won't be long if you've been around.
Nothing.
A guarantee.
It has a guarantee.
Right. Yeah.
In this life. So if we keep that thought, nothing is promised. So that means anything is possible. All right, anything is possible, and we want the church folk. Come on, church folk. Come on now. We church folk tend to want to say, and this scripture is true. I love the scripture, but many times church folk misappropriate this particular scripture when it says I can do all things. That is true in the if you understand the application. All right, you can do all things, and it's talking about only you, not I can make my marriage stay together. It ain't talking about that. Not you can make your marriage stay together. Not you can make your kids be correct and good. Not you can make your job stay secure.
Right.
All right?
Yeah.
It's only talking about you. Not anything outside of you, because anything outside of you is not promised. All right? So you yourself can do all things, such as if you trying to get a skill, you can do that while breath is still in you.
Yes.
You know, I mean, if you want to cook, you can do that. It's not talking about, well, God said I can do all things, so that man that I'm looking at, I can get him because I can do all things. No, it ain't talking about the outside person. Because remember, they too have free will.
Free will.
All right.
And as Jay, and as you were saying that, I was thinking back to the scene with Jill Scott, and she was actually talking to her girlfriends, and she was saying that very exact thing. She was like, I thought that if I prayed hard enough, that God will keep my marriage, you know. But then she said, but she realized that it wasn't founded upon the right things, even though she was making an effort or making, you know, trying to make an effort to saving the marriage. He wasn't. So that just brings to truth the comment that you just made.
Right.
You know, even though that's what she desired, that's what she wanted. She wanted to hold the marriage together. He wasn't willing.
Right.
He didn't want that. That was his choice. You know. So she was pretty much forced. You hear what I say?
Right.
Out of the marriage. And so what I'm saying is that, ladies, I mean, because I'm not saying, you know, it don't happen on the men's side of it, because there are cases like that, but for the most part, it's the woman that's being forced to realize, you know what, look, my marriage is not working. My relationship is not working. And you have not just realized this. You've seen things, you know, down over time. You know, you've seen the signs. But again, you was trying to make it work. What can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And then after all of that, after you've exhausted yourself, you realize it still wasn't working. You know, so once you start seeing the signs, it's not to say, you know, turn a blind eye to it. You know, of course, confront it, find out what's going on, you know, in your relationship. And if you start, you know, continue to see that, then just come to the knowledge that it is what it is. You know, if it's over, you know, it's over. But, you know, we don't like to just let that thing go. You know, because I love him so much, or we have children together. You know, guess what? When you are separated, you still gonna have what? Those children together. If you love, if that love is genuine, whether the marriage or the relationship work or not, you're still gonna love them. If it's genuine now. If it's genuine love, So.
Yeah, and I know it's some church folk probably getting upset about some of these statements, but folks, we come to you with solid truth, and I truly believe that even if someone is upset at some of the profound statements that Jay is making, that I really believe that deep within the inner depths of their soul, and that the truth of Christ and God is speaking to them, and fighting with the flesh part of them to let them know that Jay is actually telling the truth on this. Okay. You know, because the key word is the word make, and we are so conditioned to apply that word make that in our sentences. You know, I can make this happen. But when we say that, the only thing you can make happen is anything that is only isolated to you.
Yes.
I can make a cake. That's you doing it. Not I can make a cake with Jay's help, or I can make a cake with Miss Debbie's help.
Right.
All right. Relying on the other person.
Right.
All right. Because you don't know what the other person is going to do or say, how much they're going to put into it, or you really don't know.
Right. Yes,
all right? Right. There's no certain, but you can definitely be certain about yourself.
About yourself. That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
That's right. You because keyword. I mean, we know that we can't make nobody, but we should be trying.
Yeah.
Because we don't ask. We don't steadily ask ourselves that reverse question: who can make you?
Right.
Oh, so ask yourself that question. Who can make me do something? Because I guarantee, if I came to you and say, I can make you do whatever,
you can't make you. You can make me do nothing.
My daddy and mama don't even make me do nothing. You ain't my daddy. You ain't my mama.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
That'd be
that's
the
true.
first thing you say.
Yeah.
So you just answered, but you just confirmed my statement. You can't make nobody else, and can't nobody make you.
No, that's right. That's right.
All right.
That's right. That's right.
I don't know why we as people cannot get this part right. We just won't. We refuse to get this part together. Mm-hmm. And I guarantee you, if you got this part in the understanding and the application of your life, if and when things happen in your life, you are more prepared to deal with it.
That's true.
And move forward rather be stumbled and stuck on it.
Yeah, that's right.
No matter what it is, even if it's to the point of death of some, a lost one or something, you are more prepared. Because a lot of people, that's a whole nother subject, about death.
Right.
Because people really do not prepare for death. No. Now they know it. They know it's going to come.
Yes.
A guy, there was some ladies that was talking. I ran into them like 2 days ago, and they were telling me one of their co-workers just died, and I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry to hear that." And then they went on to tell me the story. They was like, "He was only 31." I was like, "Really? Was he sick?" No, I said he just clocked out. Worked the whole shift for everybody. I mean, doing his thing. And just clocked out. Was walking out the door. Got to his car, fell out.
Wow.
Got to his car, fell out from a heart attack.
At 31.
At 31. Had a heart attack. At 31. Was fine working the whole night.
Wow.
Got to his car, had a heart attack, fell out, died right there on the spot. At 31.
At 31.
At 31.
That's So when you talk about being prepared, I mean, you can't.
Yeah.
There's no way. As far as death is concerned, we like to say, we put in our mind thought, Jay, especially if our loved ones or whether it's co-workers, loved ones, family, friends, if they're older, you sort of expect it because after you get a certain age, you used to say, it can happen, but nowadays that was the truth, but now in days that's not a proven fact. The story you're talking about, the young man, 31 years old, have a massive heart attack and die. His life is over. So there is, death does not have a age limit on it.
We see that every day.
Every day. It does not have an age limit on it. So, and you made a good point, Jay, as to say, is that you have to expect that these things are going to happen. You have to expect that rejection is going to come. And that's just the the fact of that.
Yeah. Well, I won't say will come.
Yeah.
I'll say it's a possibility. It's always a possibility for anything. Always. All you can do is hope that it does. And if it doesn't never come, be thankful. be thankful. All right?
At some point, Jay. No.
Well, about death now.
No.
But
at some point,
you be rejected on something in life.
Yeah.
Rejection is taking place on. You might try to go get a loan, get rejected for a loan,
and they just step it rejected.
Denied.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, it's all kinds of ways you could be rejected. But what happens when you've been rejected? Is I guess the answer to that is basically how do how you handle it. Yeah, that's what happens when you've been rejected. How you handle it. What you do after that. What you do when that happens. I'm
gonna tell you a funny scenario. In my younger years, me and my girlfriends, we used to go out quite often. On the weekend. I mean, that's what we did during that time. We went out to the different clubs and. And I was always, a dancer. I love to dance. I love to party. I love to have a good time. And we were in the club one night, and my best friend was actually sitting like in close proximity to me, and I'm looking. she looking too. This guy was at the bar and everything, and he was just waving like, hey, how you doing? So I was like, oh, okay. Hey, how you doing? That type of thing. So he was like, do you want to dance? From across, do you want to dance? So I was like, yeah. I was like, Tracy, I'm about to get my dance on, girl. And so as I got ready to get up, there was a young lady standing behind me. And he was talking to her where I thought he was talking to me. I'm going to have to call my girlfriend tonight and ask her to remember that. I thought he was talking to me. And so they got on the dance floor, and when my girlfriend realized that that's what happened, she fell out laughing. So that was a form of rejection to me. I mean, but I just laughed it off and went on ahead. And was like, it was just an honest mistake, but that was a form of rejection. But now, as anybody else, I mean, and her thing was, I don't even know if I could have handled it that way. You handled it so smooth, But, you learn. You have to learn how to just say, okay, it happened, and what are you going to do? I mean, really, what are you going to do? But it was funny. I mean, it was.
Yeah.
It was funny, though.
Yeah, it's a lot of things, folks. Rejection comes in all different forms and ways. I guess the most part that I think probably our listeners tend to want to pay attention to is that rejection when it's a couple in a relationship.
Yes, that's right.
I didn't even bring up about I think I did say something about when you've been married or you've been in a relationship for a while, and then the rejection comes when you find out that person's no longer into you or whatever. Whether they went and found somebody else, it doesn't make any difference what the reason is. Right. They done found somebody. The bottom line is they're no longer into you. Right. That's the bottom line. Yeah. You can look at everything else, but until you tell yourself the bottom line, don't matter about that they got somebody else, they or sexing somebody else, or they financial reason. The bottom line is they came to the point they're not into you anymore. Yeah. All right.
I mean, and honestly, Jay, all those other reasons, I mean, it really don't matter. It really doesn't matter once you accept the fact that they're not into you. I mean, because no answer that they give you is going to suffice you. Really, it's really not. You're not going to be pleased with it one way or another. So, but then we like to say, well, why? Why don't you want me?
I'm going to share this with folks. I'm going to give folks this little bit of information. And first, I'm going to say, my ex-wife, my ex-wife, and I'm not ashamed to say it, my second ex-wife, or my second wife, which my ex. My first wife is deceased. My daughter's mom, she's deceased. Yeah. But my second wife, before I go on with the rest of the story, I'm gonna let y'all know we are the greatest, best of friends. We get along great. She's my ex. Now I'm gonna share the story. She came to me one day and just claimed, just out in the open, I don't want to be married no more. It was a surprise. Wow. I wasn't expecting it. But I'm gonna tell you, I had prepared myself in my mind and my spirit and soul to get into myself that anything is possible in life. Right. Okay. Yeah. And I believe if I had not been prepared for anything being possible, probably would have freaked out. Been throwing stuff out. You know how we get. Right. What you mean? You don't want to be married no more. Yeah. Here's how I reacted to that. Because it was a sit down talk, and I was like, I looked at her real hard, and the next words that came out of my mouth, took me a minute though. I said, "Are you sure that's what you want?" Because I had to when she said that, what started running through my mind was first recognition of this, because I knew my wife, you know, she don't make no profound statement like that about anything that's a serious statement. She's giving it some thought. Okay. I mean, you know, even if it's going to get in some debt, whatever, she gives serious stuff some thought. So this is a serious thing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. So I know I had to recognize that and tell myself the truth before I even opened my mouth. Okay, I was sitting there, it was like, you know, 1,000 thoughts in just a few seconds or so.
It's easy.
And so I was like, okay, you know, my wife's rational. I won't say rational. You know, that to me that could be irrational. Rational for her, irrational for me. But I know when I say rational, I mean she's a person who thinks things through. She's giving it some thought. It's not a spontaneous statement. It's been probably on her mind for a little while. And she's just not coming forward. So the only thing asking her why. I didn't even ask her why. I'm telling y'all folks, I didn't even ask her why, because the thought that came to me when I brought to the recognition of what I already knew, she thinks about stuff. Okay?
Right.
It didn't matter the reason why. Yes, you were just saying.
Yeah.
It didn't matter.
Right.
It didn't matter what she could have thrown out there with the reason why.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. What mattered was that she came to a conclusion, and that's all that needed to be responded to.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
And when she said, she didn't want to be married. When I opened up my mouth, I wanted to make sure she was sure. I said, "Are you sure that's what you want?" And she was like, "Yes." I said, "Okay." And I just immediately said, "Okay." Well, and then I just told her, I said, "Well, we're going to have to work this out in about a month, 2 months."
Right.
And, in about a month and a half, packed up and I moved. And we were split. Okay? Now, and she has 3 girls. Love them very much. Call them my I don't never called them my step.
Right.
They are my girls.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And I've even put it on Facebook if anybody knows anything about. Then they've seen that on Facebook before. But and just as well as my own daughter, I love them very much. Matter of fact, I still participate with them, conversate with them, just like and they made me proud. One day they were chastising their mom.
Wow.
Chastising their mom, and I'm not gonna go into the whole story, but they made a comment to her because she called me, and I was surprised she called me. I told her we're good friends.
Yes.
We actually, really, truthfully, get along better now than when we were together. With what happened, she called me one night. She's like, "Guess what the girls told me?" I was like, "No, I can't guess too well."
Right.
So she was like, she explained what was going on, and she was complaining about what was going on, and the girls responded to say, "Well, you wouldn't have to do all this if you had to live."
Oh.
All right. And I was like, "You're actually telling me this?"
Wow.
And that's how good of friends we are, right?
Yes.
Good of friends we are. But getting back to the breakup, the concern was whether or not she was sure.
Yes.
And folk, let me tell you, when people have come to a conclusion that they have left, their whole focus has now gone from you. All right.
Yeah.
Right. whether they're still physically there
Right.
or not.
Yes.
Bottom line, their whole focus is gone from
Yes.
you.
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
And we got a lot of relationships where the person is bodily and physically there.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But they have actually left the marriage and left the relationship.
Yes. Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah.
And it's really over.
Yes.
It's really over mentally, but not, but physically
they still there.
they still
Yeah, that's
still
right.
there.
Mhm.
And folk be just like, why? Why? You think that's gonna change the situation?
No, it's not.
All right, really,
It's not.
really.
It's not. It's not. It's not.
One thing I do believe in. I do not believe, if I have counted that person to have really thought about whatever they're doing. I know sometimes we make some decisions spontaneously.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, but really, if you really think about it, spontaneous thoughts, really that thought was there some time ago. It had to have been there at some point. Like a guy that would call a woman a B word.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Somewhere along the line, at some point, he said it in his mind, called her a B, the B word.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe he just didn't get angry enough, or whatever the reason was,
Right.
and it came out.
Yes.
Finally came out.
Yes. Yes.
But I guarantee you,
he thought it.
there was a pre-thought.
That's true.
Okay,
true.
all right.
That's true. That's true.
All right.
That's true, Jay.
All right.
Yeah.
And we want to say the time it came out, it did come out. They immediately like, I didn't mean to say it. No, you really did, because it was a pre-thought. It had already festered in your mind. You were calling me that in your head. It just didn't come out of your lips.
Didn't come out your lips.
Yeah. Yeah, watch this. You get mad at them, and you be like, you know how we be talking under our we turn, that B, you be thinking in your, I can't. Sometimes that B get on my nerve. Thinking it, you ain't never said it, and then one day,
you get real.
One day it done finally came out. But you're going to try to play it off. I didn't really mean to say that. Oh, yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. You've been thinking that all anyway. Yeah, you've been, see?
Anyway. That's right.
All right.
Yes, Jay. Yes, Jay. Yes, Jay. Yes,
all right. Okay. But real truth, things that come out of your mouth are pre-thought about. They really are. All right. They pre-exist in your mind. Okay. So by recognizing, keeping myself in truth, all right, and not denying the truth that I know is true.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's why I say that denial can be such a dangerous thing, and you point out a lot of examples of that by the Jill Scott thing and Tyler Perry play and movie, because they were both pretty much consistent.
Okay.
But as I said, one thing I learned and kept that truth within me, and acted on that truth, and shall still act upon that truth, is number one, you can't make a person do anything.
That's
all right. Every person has free will.
Yes.
All right. I learned to call things the way it really is. Absolutely. What I see is the way it really is. I don't see something and then tell myself it's something else. That's what they call ludicrous. All right, folks?
The rapper?
All right. No, not the rapper.
Not the rapper.
But the rapper be rapping about a lot of stuff about that.
Yeah. I mean, and Jay, you made a good point, as to say, when you see it, that's what it is. You don't try to confuse yourself that it ain't what you see and stuff like that. And so I'm reminded of of the issue, and it's been like men, really women that does it. For a good example, if you come home and you catch your husband or your mate in y'all house with another woman, and you go and you walk in and he jump up, baby, 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 baby. It ain't what you think. Well, what do you think? What did your eyes see? What are you looking at? It's not what you. Yes, it is. And I don't understand why do men say that? Why is that the first thing that come out? It ain't what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So the situation is what it is. So we're talking about what do you do? How do you handle rejection? And so we say that depends on the individual that you are. But if you are a rational, at some point, whatever rationality is to you, or on an adult level, think about the consequences of your actions in a state of rejection. Think about the consequences of your actions.
Right. Think about it. Because I as I was saying, the reality, the truth, telling yourself what you see, also here, and like I said, and that was really, that was learning experience. That was also confirmation. That experience with the breakup of my second wife, which I keep reminding y'all, we're great friends, great friends, right? Great friends, and can be very open with each other. As a matter of fact, she sometimes has called me to get advice about a guy she's interested in, and we'll talk about it. And I don't downgrade or nothing. We'll talk about it. I mean, we are just really great friends. Like I said, we're probably have a better friendship than when we were
and that can
together.
happen, Jay.
And it wasn't that it was any big reason for them. She just didn't want to be married. That's what came over her. She just didn't want.
At that time.
Okay. Yeah. She just didn't want to be married. And this was after 7 years. Okay. All right. So, like I said, nothing in life is promised, even when it looks like it's going great. And that was an experience for me. Yeah. Even when it looks like it's going great, because out of nowhere,
wow.
Wow. It wasn't going to no point like, we were having these big problems and all that. Yeah. She just didn't want to be married. Wow. And I actually respected her decision. And when you talk about giving folk true respect, and you recognize if they've given thought, even though you might say to yourself, that is a crazy decision. Okay? All right? But each person has to reap whatever they sow. Okay? Like her daughters, my daughter. Yeah. When she called me and said, you wouldn't have to go through this if you hadn't left them. Well, each person has to deal with their decisions. The
consequences of their
decisions.
That's right.
All right?
That's right.
Okay? So, we just hope maybe something was said within this show, maybe that could help you, in dealing with rejection, because it'll come in some kind of form or way, in some type, environment for some reason. Yes. I didn't even get on to talk about some of these women who have been. I know one woman. I know we're trying to close, but who was in a marriage. This was when I was doing service work. I can't remember if I was doing a phone service, if I was doing cable. I can't remember. But I had a work order to go to this lady's house. Rich neighborhood. I mean, really lavish neighborhood. And when I was at this lady's house, she sent me across the street to her neighbor. No, I was doing satellite. That's what it was. I was working for a satellite company. and to talk to her about herself, about because she had a problem with her something about her antenna, satellite dish antenna. So I went next door to see what I could do. When I got over there, she was crying and everything, and I was like, well, if you want me to, I can give you my number, whatever. I'll come back, if it's a bad time. And then she went on to explain to me. She was like, it's okay, it's okay. I really do need somebody to look at this.
Okay.
She's like, I'm just really upset and hurt because she had just probably like 15, 20 minutes before I got over there, had just got the news from her husband that he was leaving her after 50 years. After 50 years, leaving her for another man. That he had been having an affair with this other man for the last 5 years.
Oh, okay.
All right. All right. After 50 years. Well, this was a white couple, but it doesn't matter.
Right,
we see this in all races.
Yeah, all races.
All right.
No doubt about it.
But after 50 years.
50 years.
All right.
Wow.
The last 5 years make the beginning 45 at 45 years
with the man,
been having an affair with a man,
Ooh.
And finally came on out to tell her, he had already left the marriage.
Yeah,
he had a long time and left the marriage, bodily still there, and finally came out to tell her, okay, it's over with. I'm going to be with this man. Okay, all right. Like I said, it could be looking good. You never know. No matter how good it may look, you never know. Nothing is promised. All you can do is hope that it'll last to your death, and that things will go as great as possible. But if it doesn't, how you handle it and how you prepared for it.
Yeah, it's gonna make the difference.
It make a difference.
Yes.
I try to prepare as much as possible. When I travel, I said my tire kit, tire plug. I don't never travel because I'm also, I'm mechanically experienced. I take me what's called an emergency enough tools. I have a tool, a transportable toolkit. That if my alternator goes out, my starter goes out, those things happen, can happen without warning.
That's right.
Without warning. Like I said, it may look like everything going good. Cars do that, and then all of a sudden, bam, your alternator don't went out. It don't give you no warning.
Right.
Your starter could go out. It don't give you no warning.
Yes, that's
stuff like that. I'm prepared. I'm prepared. Ain't like I wanted it to happen.
Right.
But I'm prepared. And I adapt. And if we don't take that same type of attitude toward life, we'll get heartbroken, stranded, stranded,
and find yourself in a bad place, a bad situation,
bad place. All right.
Yes.
All right. So, all right, folks. So that's what we talked about. What happens when you get rejected? When you've been rejected. All right. Which also has to do with what happens after you've been rejected.
Yes.
All right. All right. We're time.
Be strong, people.
Be strong. All right. More power to the people.
Yes.
All right. We out. We out. We are out.
Bye bye. She told